Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word. Liverpool 5, Everton 2. Joined by Steve and Andy on this dark day. Discussing a mauling. The first time Everton have conceded 5 in a derby for 37 years.
Under Howard
I
Kendall.
was there under Howard Kendall, a 5-0 home defeat. It was horrific. Last night was equally horrific.
Well, good times came after that. Whether they happen this time, we'll see.
They did. Well, yeah, they might do with a new manager, it seems, because at the time of recording this, Marco Silva is still the Everton manager, but according to reports, it won't be for much longer. Lads, I mean, my feelings are I wasn't overly surprised by what I saw, because we've been kind of sleepwalking into a performance like this, I think, for the last few weeks. I mean, what did you make of the team line up first and same team as started on Sunday?
I had a lot of problems with Sunday, and I know many people didn't, because we did play reasonably well against Leicester, but again, before the game, I did say I thought that Sidibe, whether I know people said he had a good game Sunday, but tactically he's just a bit naive, and he's ill-disciplined, he gets too far high up, and we don't really, unfortunately, because we've got a centre-half, have the right system to sort of deal with that. And then the midfield again, Tom tried his best last night, but Gylfi Sigurdsson presses too high, gets caught. So when I saw the team, I thought we're going to have problems here, because it's too open. And I think a back three against quick teams, and Leicester don't play the same system as Liverpool. Leicester don't have like wingers who are going to cut inside and score goals. When you played back three, you open those channels in behind the full-back, the wing-backs, and that was a concern. And I don't know, Everton we can't play a back three. I just don't think we can play a back three. And when I saw we did that, I thought, it's going to be 4 or 5. Yeah, I was asked like yesterday by someone before they went to the game what scores are going to be said. I'd say Liverpool -3 or -2, because I just knew they'd be beating us by a good score. I just knew. And we've been, as you say, we've been sleepwalking into this. I know this is a long point,
No,
but we've been sleepwalking into this. But we knew it was going to happen. That's why we knew this game was coming, because we was left in charge for these 2 games, because let's be honest, no one wanted to take them off him, and you reap what you sow, really, Everton. You know, you got beat and they weren't even that good last night, let's be honest.
second gear, weren't they?
Steve?
Yeah, very much the same. It's just the team he picked. I wasn't surprised by what team he picked. Did I think it was the right team? No, because of certain individuals in it, maybe. I think if you're going to play Tom Davis and Gylfi Sigurdsson, you're asking for trouble, unfortunately. Felt sorry for Tom last night, because he was doing 2 man's jobs as well. And he ended up getting booked because of it in the end. And he ended up probably getting taken off because of that.
He had no legs left because he got run around on the pitch.
But at least he tried to show a bit of fight and put his foot in and get in people's faces, unlike the bloke next to him. Yeah, I'm not... You go into the game thinking it's probably going to be 5 or 6, but you never really expect it to happen, and you're still angry. Like I was fuming last night, even though I knew it was going to happen. You still you always got that feeling, thinking you never know, they might pull something out the bag, or you've got that hope as never. That's what keeps us going the match. Probably
you have to have it. You have to have it, don't you? I had no issue with them playing the 5 at the back, to be honest. I didn't have any issue. My issue came when I saw Gylfi Sigurdsson playing.
Yeah.
It's the manner in which you lose.
But it's not. It's if you're playing at Anfield, you know how Liverpool play.
Yeah.
The wing backs give them the width. They want long balls in behind you because they're quick. It's the right tactic. You play short, you play long. No problem with that. So to deal with that, Liverpool didn't do anything by surprise last night. So to deal with that, you say to your 3 centre backs, sit on the edge of our box. Now people might go, well, that's inviting pressure on. Well, it's not inviting pressure on against a team that plays quickly on the counter-attack if you're playing on the halfway line, because one ball takes 5 of you out the game. So if we'd have sat on the edge of our box, I thought what he should have done was had Schneiderlin in there. Now, anyone watches this knows that Morgan Schneiderlin ain't I'm not his biggest fan by any stretch, but we haven't got another defensive midfield player at the moment, because Fabian Delph's out injured. We've lost Gabaman. We haven't had that at all, so we can't really include him. Andre Gomez, can protect the ball a bit better than there and move the ball around, but he's not there. Beningami's injured, so we haven't even got the option of bringing a young lad in. So he was the natural fit for me to play in there. Because then that would have allowed us to sit a bit deeper. He would have still screened the back three, and then your wing backs could have gone and done what they did do, which was cause Liverpool issues at the other end. I mean, you know, Liverpool was so open at the back, it was incredible. But none of that works if you don't play it right. So
I was saying to Andy on the way here, when it went to 1-0, I would have liked to have seen it gone like even like a sweeper, have like a sweeper behind the, you know, because we were playing so high. And told Mina just to play even as a sweeper or Holgate, the quicker one, out the
issue with that
free.
is
But
you just can't rely on them to be disciplined.
that's what I mean. It's just,
and this is where I find the problem with Everton under Marcus Silva is I think, and I don't think he's doing it intentionally, of course, but we're being set up to fail with real naive decisions like playing a high line in Anfield. It's suicide. You look at the things before the game. Liverpool play the second most long balls in the league. Now, people go, oh, they see everyone else. You've seen, but they're very direct in the fact they get the ball early. It's quick players and they get man advantages.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, because it's not. There's not, because they're creating advantages in terms of numbers. If you've got Firmino, Mane, and Salah, for example, going against a four-man defence, then they're going to cause problems. Why did we think about this? This is my issue, and this is the issue under Marcus Silva. We don't plan for the game. We don't adapt. Now at 1-0, you go, we've just been beaten by a long ball here. Right, sit back. No, there's no adaptation. It's get higher even in some cases. Gylfi, why don't you go and start pressing up the pitch and leave big channels in the middle of the... This is the problem with Marcus Silva. I don't want to make it all about him because the performance was terrible by the players as well. But you're setting teams up not to do well by being naive, and you can't be naive in this league. You're going to get beaten. You know, look at it. You know, for example, Eddie Howe. He's quite naive at times. They're on a 8-game losing run.
1 win in 10.
Yeah, exactly. So this is, you need to be smarter, and managers can't go to Anfield and just play loose and go and go like that.
I suppose any game plan he had was out the window after 5 minutes, wasn't it? Everton actually had the ball in the Liverpool box. They
committed too many men
struggling to clear it. They get it clear and they break quickly, and they broke her pace, and we were always on the back foot there. But I felt there was a couple of individual errors within the goal that should have been dealt with. Michael Keane should have gone and closed down the ball instead of running back towards his own goal. Liverpool had 3 forward players running at us, and we had 4 defenders because Dean was coming in down the back.
yeah.
Keane should have gone over and engaged Mane. And we saw this at Brighton the other week. He ran away from the ball instead of going towards the ball. And then by him running back towards our goal, don't get me wrong, the pass by Mane was fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant ball. But if Keane goes out and makes that pass harder, it makes Mane's mind up for him. Now, he either tries to skin him for pace, but if he gives himself 5 yards, he can react to that. Or he turns and looks for a 1-2 or whatever. But by just running back towards your own goal, you make his mind up for him. He plays a fantastic ball. And that's where the second mistake for me comes. No defender tries to commit to the ball, make a tackle. And the goalkeeper, for some reasons, on the edge of his box and doesn't do anything. Goes down as if to collect it. And one touch, he's out the game. This
is the problem with Michael Keane as well. He's just got no awareness of what's around. There's no danger awareness. He doesn't see people. He doesn't see people coming around him. Now, as you say, all he had to do is just put his foot through it, put over a corner. Now he moves, watches it, and then
just let it roll across his body.
Yeah, it's and then Pickford. Yeah, Pickford's is very reactionary, isn't he? He doesn't anticipate.
Why is he that far out?
He doesn't anticipate.
He has to be involved.
If he'd have been penalty spotted, maybe at least Origi would have had to take a touch, and then if he clips it past him, you can say it was a great ball, good ball by Mane, good finish, not much the keeper could do. But all he has to do is control the ball, which he does, and the keeper's out the game.
That's the problem with Pickford.
Rolls it in, you 1-0 down.
Decision making is awful.
He loves to be involved as well.
I just think that's one thing he needs to change when he came to Everton. And over the last 3 years, you would have expected to go on. His decision making still not shocking. There. You know, you need to anticipate things. You need to position yourself correctly, and he's still not doing it now. You know, I'm not saying we should get rid of Pickford, but he certainly needs to start. I think his development has stagnated a lot over the last couple of years, and you know the club's has as well. Let's be honest, it's not just him. So, but again, you don't learn your lessons, and look what happens to the
second goal. You know, that's 1-0, and you fear the worst then, of course, and then the second goal is in some respects even worse because we actually have enough bodies back to deal with it. And yet, no one follows Shaqiri. Well, Michael Keane just lets Shaqiri run past him. You know, without even motioning towards the ball, and then the goalkeeper lays down. I mean,
that's I think there was about, I think I said before, there was about 5 of them, 5 players on the edge of the box. Like you said, Michael Keane just lets him walk through. And it's an easy goal. Pickford can't really do much about the second.
Really? I thought it was bad goalkeeper.
I think he's...
He goes with his feet. I've seen a lot of goalkeepers. I asked Neville Southall about this. He's saying, why is he going for stuff with his feet?
There's a Gea disease, isn't it? But people forget De Gea's 6'6". You know what I mean?
It's like you've got to...
But I just think the defending's just awful. It's just awful.
It's the defending's poor, but I just think Jordan could have done a little bit better on that. But Michael Keane, I mean, letting him run past you.
That summed up his night, didn't it, really? He was just, like I said to Andy, his positional sense is just shocking. Shocking, it is.
This is what happens when you, like, this is the byproduct of the Koeman Walsh series. You buy players who've got no right, or no, they can't play in different systems. Michael Keane was at Burnley, played in the low block, basically defended the width of the penalty area. That's all he did. Never had to go out wide, never had to go high up the pitch to defend. Didn't defend in space. Well. Yeah, just that, all he does clear the ball, go again. For Everton, he's been asked to play the high line, defend in space. It's just, it's not going to work, and that's why...
Zuma got him out of the trouble.
Yeah, he did, because he basically said, you go forward for the ball, I'll run in behind you.
And don't forget, he was more confident. His confidence has been shot this season, and it's showing.
Yeah,
he's not playing well, player. He's been asked to do a bit more, and his confidence has gone. So
he's been dropped, he's back in.
Yeah, he looks sharp. I mean, it was a good goal from Liverpool's perspective, because it was a good move, but from our perspective, it looked easy to defend against if someone goes. If you're making a run, it's great if no one goes with you. It was just a good run by Shaqiri, good little move, and the 2-0
You shouldn't be getting... They just shouldn't be getting in.
It was too easy, wasn't it? And, you're 2-0 down, and you're thinking, 12 minutes gone, we're 2-0 down, this could be bloody 10, we got our way back into the game. Good goal, actually, by Michael Keane. He took it well corner, and
the way he wrote to a wall, he crossed it into
he reacted well and clipped it over the keeper. It was a nice finish. And you're like, right, all right, we've started terribly, but we're back in the game now. We then have we have a penalty shout. I mean, earlier, there was a situation where Alexander-Arnold could have seen red and probably should have seen red, really. It was a late challenge. He knew what he was doing, over the top. We've seen Sacco go off the night before for Palace.
Yeah.
I don't know why VAR didn't look at it and awarded red. It was a poor challenge.
They play him red, they can't award against them.
He basically stands on him.
It was a poor challenge. He knew what he was doing over the top of the ball.
He was all over the place.
He went out, he can't defend. He's amazing going forward.
Yeah, but he was overreacting. He overcommits to everything. And Richarlison actually played him quite well in the first.
But then Richarlison done one on him later, or on Shaqiri, and that was the similar challenge, wasn't it? But Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I mean, did you think it was a penalty? It was a good ball by Iwobi, fed them in. Split the defence.
Do
you think it was a penalty?
I just want to know how Van Dijk buried up those 10 yards in 0.3 seconds. It was incredible.
Dom hesitated.
Yeah, well, exactly, and this is the problem with Dom, his composure. He basically had to take one touch and hit it across the keeper. And he delays, and then because he wasn't going for the ball. He just assaulted him.
Shoved him in
right into the back. Yeah, if you're not going for the ball, that's a penalty. But because he used his shoulder,
VAR looked at it. Apparently,
yeah.
But he didn't award it.
I feel like if it was Vardy, it would have been a penalty.
If he'd used his hands, because he used his shoulder, they probably thought they could get away with it saying shoulder barge. You know what I mean? That's what they say.
But I think the challenge. Even if it was a penalty or whatever, Dom should have had that out of his feet. What he does is, it's played, he tends to slow up.
No composure.
As if to say, I need to get it still before I can hit it.
Because he's scared of missing a chance.
If you look at someone like Jamie Vardy, because one of you just mentioned him, either took it across Van Dijk, so he had to go like that and couldn't have touched them, or either moved it out of his body so that you're protecting the ball. You're putting your body between the ball and the defender. And he didn't. He slowed down and waited to shoot, where really if he gets that out of his feet and pops it, it's 2-2, or certainly you're asking a question about him.
He's never been composed in front of goal.
No, he hasn't.
That's his main issue.
He's developed well, but that's an area of him where...
That's ice in your veins, though. Natural strikers have it, some don't. It's
conviction, though, and it's not even.
I think do you think it's confidence as well in the fact that he doesn't want to miss a chance? When I watch him, we've talked about, especially you know this, he wants to get it on target. He just doesn't want to miss. And
But
he's overthinking
if you're
things.
a centre forward,
No, yeah, you hit it early.
You take shots on because you know you're going to miss chances. That's part of the game.
I just think I think that plays into his mind.
If you have 5 shots and you get 3 on target, you'll score a goal.
Yeah, there's hesitation in him.
Generally, you'll score a goal.
I think something in relation to Dom I was saying before as well. I just feel like he's lost that aggression from last season as well. Like there was a part in the first half where Van Dijk was just like shoving him like that, and he just accepted it. And he get a bit nasty back.
Get into his face.
But I think that's when he's at his best. When he's aggressive in the channels, bringing the centre half out.
You can't play the reputation. Van Dijk's the best centre back in the world at the moment. Well, Ballon d'Or says he is. He's a top.
He's very good centre back. Don't be wrong, but
you can't go, well, he's the best, so I can't. You go, right, I'm going to test myself against you then. Let's see how good you really are. Start getting into him.
Van Dijk didn't play particularly well last night. He was ruffled, really.
He was all over the place at times. But listen, we were 2-1 and we're kind of in the game. Liverpool were stroking it round well. They'll have felt as though they were in control, and they probably were, but we felt as though with that goal we got back in the game a little bit. The fans looked nervous anyway, even if the players didn't. And then Trent Alexander-Arnold plays a ball. It's a great pass, but it's an easy pass.
It's because we switched off.
Yeah, we're off.
There's no anticipation of the man making a run over the back and just let it go.
And again, a straight ball.
Yeah.
And our centre-backs don't react.
Don't run around.
Particularly Michael Keane, because he's the one who's with it.
He can't watch balls in the air.
Origi's right next to him now, and Origi runs past him.
Yeah.
So
watch the ball.
What's going on? It's a brilliant goal, don't get me wrong. The touch by Origi is fantastic, and the finish is brilliant. It really is, but it could have been avoided. Because it's a straight. If you're getting caught with a straight pass, you're in trouble. You're in trouble as an international centre back, which 2 of them 3 are. I mean, I don't blame Yerry Mina there because he was the one to the left. It was Holgate and Keane really, but predominantly Michael Keane.
They're both standing there looking at each other, just like.
And if you 3-1 down,
it wasn't like there were 10 yards gap between them either. There was only a couple of yards, and he's just in between them. There's no communication, obviously. But I
was saying to my dad this one, it's like when you used to play Sunday League, and you used to always say, knock it over the top.
Yeah, and you'll get it. I should love
that. But that's what strikers love.
And play for you, that's it. I did a couple of games on there.
And it's so easy. It's not hard to defend if you actually use your brain.
No.
Let's be honest as well, Divock Origi isn't doing that against anyone else, is he?
But it's just the defence.
He loves a goal against us.
The defence is just brainless. It's just brainless defending.
That's basic defending. And no matter, you can blame the manager all you want.
It's not,
right, but
take responsibility.
He puts a team out with international defenders. He doesn't expect one ball to take them out the game.
They shouldn't be at either, though.
No, they shouldn't be, but he come out after the game said they played totally the opposite of what he told them to play.
But surely them as footballers
well, that's Anfield for you, because Everton have got like an absolute...
Oh, yeah. I mean, Liverpool could put out there under
12. I thought they would have put cones out and could have beat us.
They've got to take in-game responsibility though as well.
Yeah,
they do, and that is the problem.
And that's what they're not doing. I understand the manager might be saying push high, but you've also got to use your own football knowledge.
But he didn't. He said he was indicating he told them to sit deep.
Sit deep, that's what I mean. So they're obviously...
But then if you're seeing that with your eyes, why aren't you telling them to go deeper?
Well, if they're ignoring him, that's an entirely different problem, isn't it? Because they shouldn't be ignoring him if he's the manager,
But again, that comes back to what you were saying there about Sigurdsson before. That's where a proper captain, would go up to those centre halves and say, you two,
he wasn't even on the pitch, he was sitting in the stands watching the game for half an
hour.
No,
he's just sitting there with his hair all gelled back and doing absolutely nothing.
But, so we're 3-1 down, and it's game over again. It becomes 4-1, we give the ball away, they break on us, good goal, Mane sweeps it in, it's 4-1, and you're thinking, oh my God, this is going to be 10.
And they just took the foot off the gas.
And then we break and score a good goal, good header, off a shoulder, good shoulder by Richarlison. We've committed them for. Then we have a half chance to go 4-3. Michael Keane doesn't get the shot away.
Also, I don't know, Iwobi could have slipped
Richarlison as well. It was a poor ball. So we get to half time, it's 4-2, and come out in the second. At half time, you're thinking, this is a strange game, this 4-2.
We were kind of in it.
We were still in it.
Yeah.
Because they're open, aren't they?
We were, because they were open, and it wasn't their full strength side, so they probably played a bit differently than what they normally do. But in the second half, they did just keep us at arm's length. We were in the game to a certain extent. We had a couple of headers that went straight at Adrian, didn't we? We had a shot from Iwobi, I think it was, that went straight down his throat. They had a couple of chances. I mean, Mane should have made it 5-2, another straight ball over the top. He'd made the sub after 24 minutes, I think it was, or something like that. For Bernard come on, he took.
Play 4-4-2, didn't he?
Should be off. he wouldn't have been who I'd have took Michael Keane off.
The problem is Liverpool are keen on the fact that DB goes high. Now, as you say, you can make adjustments for that by setting your defence up differently. But it really is ill-discipline how far he gets up the pitch too early, because if they win the ball back, it's just an easy ball into the channel, and then you've got either Michael Keane or Mason Holgate not playing well.
But you've got Holgate, those quicker.
Well, he's playing the centre of the two, wasn't it? This is another thing. Why isn't Holgate and Mina the two quickest, and Michael Keane not the tank in the middle, just trying to win the headers? That should be the way it is. Let's be honest here, Liverpool and other teams all season, when Michael Keane have keyed in on him and Coleman's side, him and Sidibe's side all year. That's been an issue for Everton, so obviously that needs to be
fair play to them. But
I'm not saying I would have brought Sidibe off. No, I wouldn't. I would have said to him, stop running so wide.
Talk to him.
Yeah, exactly. Bernard did okay when he came on. He set the
goal up. Listen, Bernard
couldn't get him in the game.
Bernard was no
really?
thingy, was he?
That's the only shame, because Trent couldn't do it in the belt.
I think that's what he brought him on for. Trent got booked, and he brought Bernard on quick feet. And he just didn't use him enough.
Apart from that moment, we really didn't do much in there.
It was just the midfield. Liverpool won for me in the midfield, and Mane was exceptional all night. But we had a chance. We brought Moise Keane on for Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
4-3-3.
And we had a chance, didn't we, to make it 4-3. I mean, Iwobi slid. And Keane done well, didn't he?
I thought he was exciting. I thought Van Dijk didn't know how to deal with him. He made a couple of bad touches, but he's not.
I mean, just before that, they'd had the chance with Mane. And again, a straight ball. And again, Michael Keane. Just before we move on from Michael Keane, because I'm just thinking about that chance again. But Michael Keane had such a poor game. But that one ball again, he was watching the whole way. And Mane, he just runs in behind him again. I mean, his numbers aren't great, are they? I mean, Joe's done the goal for him, which is fine. He scored. The 5 clearances, no block shots, no tackles from a centre-back. Dribble past once, lost possession 9 times in the game. For it now, I don't know whether that seems quite high for me to lose.
Liverpool press well on the field.
Liverpool do press well, but he gave the ball away cheaply 3 occasions with a normal pass, a straight pass straight to them, and they broke on us again. Now, for him, would you just take him back out the side?
Yeah, I'm advocating that we move on from him this summer. I'm not saying, and that's by no means saying he's like the worst player in the league or whatever. I just don't think he suits the way we want to play. And I think he'll have a home somewhere. He'll do well. He'll probably get back in the England team, because that's the way it works with England. But no, he's not good enough for Everton.
Steve, what's your thoughts on
him? Yeah, I think similar to Andy. I don't think you'll ever see him back in the England team. I just think he just hasn't suited that. Like Andy just said, since day one, really. I know obviously he had that period on last season where he played well, but I do believe a lot of that was down to Zuma next to him as well, and the protection in front of him with Garner as well. But I just don't think he's good enough for what we want to, where we want to be.
I wasn't convinced last season. I think he played well last season. He was solid.
I think I said a few weeks ago when I come in, I feel like Burnley may have been his level. For the lad, unfortunately.
It's the way they play, isn't
it? They nullify what flaws you've got as a centre-half by making you defend. And he is good in the air, let's be honest.
Listen, he played this part. He had 8 clean sheets in 10 games last season, so he must have been decent. But onto the other Keane. We're 4-2 down. He come on. I thought he'd done well. I thought his touch looked better. He protected the ball a bit better. He gave Van Dijk a run a couple of times, put himself about. And he had the opportunity to get off the mark in an Everton shirt. Iwobi fed them in, and he should really have scored, shouldn't he?
Should have, yeah. The only thing I could say in his defence, he had obviously Van Dijk breathing down his neck as well. Don't know if that's put him off, but I was encouraged with him last night. It was probably the biggest encouragement out the game, really. And I think Andy was saying before, it looks like he may have even put a bit of muscle on as well. He looks a bit bigger than he did when he come in, but I think he put himself about. He's got that. It looks like he's got that angry side to him as well, where he can get in people's faces, and I think if he's coached properly, and whoever's working with him at Finch Farm or whatever they're doing with him at Finch Farm, I feel like we've got to start giving them run of games now. He's come in the last 2 games off the bench. He's done well in both games, to be fair. He scored a screamer at Leicester away.
He did, yeah.
He put himself about. He got in a few faces at Leicester. I just think it's the right time now to let him loose. And I think if you're going to do that, you've got to get Richarlison closer to him as well if you're going to do it.
And I think...
And Iwobi as well.
Yeah. That's the first time in Iwobi have played in a situation we can play him in. And Iwobi's strength, where some people obviously weren't happy with his performance last night, and he was sloppy, let's be fair. Yeah. His strength is picking those balls in behind. You saw it with the Dominic Calvert-Lewin. You saw it in previous games. Have some willing runners. Richarlison, he probably should have fed it to his feet rather than trying to play him behind. Whatever. But that's a key part of it. Have him keen play with something, because we've seen this season Gylfi Sigurdsson doesn't pass the strikers. No. He just doesn't, let's be honest. So playing them two together, having Bernard who can create as well, and having Richarlison, you've got nice little access there, creativity with goals. I think Everton would be better for that. But
I think especially at the moment where no one's really putting their marker down for the number 9, like for the centre forward.
No,
they're
not.
Cenk Tosun, we've seen enough now. Let's be honest. Them goals against Moldova, I know they excited a few people, but let's be honest, he's not good enough. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I like Dom, but he's not. He's still got things that need fixing before he becomes our regular starter. But I've got no problem in certain games playing Dom, because he's going to cause problems for teams. But have him alternate with Keane, play Keane with the right players, and I think once he scores one, I think he'll start scoring. Like if he'd scored that goal against Leicester tonight and that chance fell to me instead, I think he would have put that away. He wouldn't have snatched that as quick.
He just needs one to get him off
that's
the
right,
mark, doesn't he? So, could have gone 4-3, and Liverpool fans were looking edgy for some reason, when they think. But it would have gone 4-3 with 5, 6, 7 minutes left. Who knows? They would have been right on it. We might have had another go at it, but it didn't. He brought Morgan Schneiderlin on, and Liverpool ended up getting the 5th goal. And what was mad was we had 3 attempts to clear this ball, and 3 Holgate with one of the worst headers I've ever seen for centre-back, just kind of cushioned his neck and headed it up in the air.
Went turtle on it,
Sigurdsson was, he went full Leonardo on it, didn't he? Sigurdsson was just out-muscled, which isn't difficult to do on the edge of the box. And then it got played wide to Firmino, and he'd done bamboozled Holgate, didn't he? He's done really well. But Schneiderlin had tracked Wijnaldum really well. He ran with him to block the pass off first, and then instead of staying where he was, he got attracted to the ball.
Did he hand him off though?
No, because he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He was running with him, and Holgate got back to Firmino, so he would have been able to get some kind of block on it. And Schneiderlin followed the ball. And Firmino lays it back, and it's Wijnaldum toe pokes it into the bottom corner.
I think it didn't matter. You can't press in your own box, and I think sometimes we do chase the ball rather than play the man. Sometimes that is an issue, but and
it gave it a shinier scoreline than probably it deserved, really, in terms of 5, because neither team really done a lot in the second half. Both had chances.
Took the foot off the gas, didn't they, in the second half?
But they're going to the 2 up, and the 2 goal advantage and protecting it is more important for them. So you'd expect
the thing that worried me as well, looking at the team, they look so unfit.
Yeah, I said that,
Second half, they come out.
A couple of
they come out second half, and honestly, it looked like they...
But that's confidence as well, and that's when you're playing with no confidence, everything becomes...
You burn too much energy,
You're running around, you're
I just thought they looked really leggy when they come out after second half.
I think we can't...
but when you're winning, there's a spring in your step as well.
Do you think, though, I wonder, I don't think Everton can keep tempo that long in games, even when we're nervous or not. And I don't know what fitness work we're doing, how much fitness work we're doing, but we're certainly not on the level of Liverpool, who seem to be able to run through walls, game in, game out. James Milner seemingly is now a 100-metre runner, because Iwobi, from a standing start, he beat Iwobi, which was a bit, it looked terrible on Iwobi, let's be honest, but that was a bit odd. But allegedly. But yeah, so...
this Joe's put this question in, so I'm going to go to Steve first, because I know what yours is. Steve, are we in a relegation battle?
At the moment, yeah, we are. Will we be...
There's 23 games to play.
So we probably need 8 wins.
So it's basically one every
few draws.
That's just a bit less than one every...
You could even go 5 wins and a few, 6, 5
3,
draws.
4, 5 draws,
That's what I mean, like Andy was saying before, he's big on this at the moment with the whole... We haven't really drawn enough games, really. Like, Pad's been big on it lately as well. I think we've only...
2 draws we've had.
One win less than Wolves now, aren't we?
But they've had 8 draws or something.
They've had 8 draws.
And they played 13 games more than us this season.
Ask me after Christmas. And then
I'm asking you now.
You're not going to get presents.
I'm not saying are we getting relegated. What I'm saying
I think we are.
Are we in a relegation battle at the moment?
I think we are.
Andy.
Only because of the players that we have in the team. I just when we had Moyes' teams in the past and we were in trouble, you kind of knew that your Cales and your players would stand up and get stuck in for certain games. But with this team, I just look at them and I just see a load of.
The only caveat to that before I come to Andy is though, football's changed though as well, because when Moyes was here and we had to dig in, there was a lot of teams that dug in as well, so you had to match them.
The league,
where I think now most of the league is like a footballing league, and
that's
why teams like Sheffield United though, who do dig in,
and Burnley
and Crystal Palace are up near the top end because they do it a bit better than other teams, don't they?
Yeah, I just question the commitment to the team.
No, but that's fine. That's fine. Andy, what's your?
Well, everyone knows that I don't think so. I think this is very similar to the Sam Allardyce situation that we had that time. I think, Big Sam came in, got 2 wins, and we
were ninth. Right?
Well, let's be honest, he got 1 win. West Ham was David Unsworth's win, but whatever. And we were there, and I know people look at it and go, "There's no Wayne Rooney," but there's certainly enough players who've been involved in relegation battles in this team. Let's not pull any punches here. We bought Pickford from Sunderland. We've got Gylfi Sigurdsson from Swansea. I just think, and it's not all the manager's fault. It's not all the manager's fault, let's be honest. It's not 100% his fault. But I think a manager can inspire a team. Everton have conceded the first goal, and I think it's 33 games under Marco Silva. It may not be that high. And out of 84 points, we've took 5. So we'd never come back to win games. That's horrendous. There's no inspiration.
No.
And you should be able to get snatch draws. That's resilience, yeah. And we don't pick up results. We either lose or we win. Well, most tight games, really.
Me and Ped were saying the other day, it's learn to start drawing games you're losing. Yeah. And then once you master that, start winning games you're drawing. That's how you do it.
If you draw 4 games and win 1, I know it's not great, but 7 points you're starting to pick up a little bit
of all of a sudden you've got momentum and you're 5 games unbeaten.
But you can't continue to lose soft games. No. Leicester, that was a soft loss. Brighton. Can't lose games like that. And I think a manager who's got a bit more about him will cut this off quite quickly. And also, he won't play players who, let's be honest, don't really want to be at the club anymore. You've got to have players who want to run around and I think you've got to have players who believe. If people have stopped believing in what they're doing, and I'm not saying they're not playing for Marco Silva because they all like him apparently, but I don't think they play for him.
If people don't fully believe in what you're doing,
do they run through walls for him?
Whatever.
No.
I just worry. I don't worry.
Apart from West Ham,
I just think they'd be bothered.
I think they are, though. I just think that now football's changed so much now, and I think the players have to be excited by what a manager's doing. And you look at them. I know people don't love Klopp and all that, but they seem to be just the cult of personality that he's got, and they seem to do everything he wants. And yet he is cringy. And I know, people say we wouldn't want a manager like that, but I'd rather have someone a bit more charismatic who makes the players play for him. They believe in everything he does.
He's done an incredible job.
What did you make of the players? Between themselves arguing and stuff like that. Do you like that, or do you think
but there wasn't enough of it.
Yeah.
And the arguing for me seemed to be pointing fingers, but not really trying to sort it out. And it wasn't we've got a picture here, but on the telly they were saying, and the Everton players really looked that much. Pickford was throwing his arm, but he throws it every game, whether you win and lose and drawing. There was a little bit of a look. The teams we all will have played in, even Sunday League and school teams and everything, you'd be dragging people by the throat into positions, and having a go, who's your man, why have you left them, why are they getting through, Rooney, you think it. So, it is what it is.
I like it if you're actually going to then...
Well, you act on it. You don't do it for the fans' sake or telly, you act on it, don't you? But... I mean, it'd be silly to say we're not in a relegation battle at the moment because we are the 3rd from bottom.
We are. It's
so
early. 23 games is a lot.
But there's 23 games to go.
And 8 wins,
the real question, I suppose, is can we get out of it? And the answer to that is, of course, we can. Because I look at a lot of sides in this league and just go...
And there's 3 weeks till window. It's not... There's time to buy...
they've got to bring players in.
It's 2 minimum,
They've absolutely got to bring
midfield and the centre-back are a must,
at the very least. I mean, I'd be looking...
Goal scorer, maybe.
I'd be looking for 3. I know you can't get them in January.
There's a player, we'll talk later, there's a player available in January we probably get, but...
Okay.
What would you say, in relation to the relegation battle, would you say, if they're in the bottom 3 after New Year's Day, is that when you start to worry? Or...
Well, I think you should,
should you be worried
if you're in the bottom 3 at Christmas, then you should maybe then, you maybe should...
I'm not worried, right? But I'm not, sitting here just going, everything's going to be totally fine either.
Yeah.
I might be crazy, but I think it is. But
No, but but that doesn't mean I don't think Everton can still finish high up the table because of it. Because points dictate
6 points off Tottenham.
6 points off fifth place.
Yeah,
and let's be honest, even though they've had a new manager bounce per se, but they still concede to every game. I know Mourinho will fix it, but that if we don't get the new manager bounce, then I'll be worried because then I'll go, it's the players then. And that's when you go, we're in trouble because you can't change the whole team.
If they change the manager,
which they are going to.
Then there's nowhere for the players to hide then.
Nope.
Because the manager stops taking the flak.
Yeah, true. And then you
for a while anyway.
That's when it turns onto the players.
And that's it then. And so they have to come up with the goods.
Speaking of players.
So we'll just finish with this discussion because I think it's one worth having. And I think it's one that kind of sums up just what's going on at the moment and with the manager as well and everything else is that I don't understand, and I've defended the manager quite a lot, less so in the last few weeks because I've found it
impossible
to defend them basically. And because I didn't want to sit here and bag them out all the time because I think you'd have to look at everything as well. And these lot don't help anybody. Some of them are about to see off the fourth manager in the last few years, so that's how good they are. But this fella, bought for a lot of money, decent, was all right in his first season, got an injury, was out for a bit, come back.
Played out of position, didn't he, as
well?
well?
Last season he was better, scored a lot of goals, important goals for us. Still had periods where he wasn't in games, but the goals were vital for us. And this year, I think he's been terrible all season. He scored a great goal the other week coming off the bench against West Ham, but I believe his best position is coming off the bench now when the game's getting tired. There's 15, 20 minutes left and the players, the pace of the game's dropped a bit. And then he's at that level. Similar with Cenk Tosun, that their pace then almost equals everybody else's so they can have a bit more of an impact.
It's true though.
But him especially, because he'll then find gaps in that last 15 minutes if he's
fresh. He can get shots off because he can't create his own space anymore.
So he was out the team, and it was arguably when we were playing our best football.
West Ham games.
West Ham and we beat Watford at home in the cup and we were unlucky.
When Bernard got injured when he was
and then he's back in.
Brighton.
He's been back in the side.
He's done so well. He's been elevated as a captain.
And I can't get my head around it.
To me, if I'm you're in any team, whatever, whether it's in work or when someone's basically been ousted because they're playing poorly or performing poorly, and then they're brought back in and made the leader, in theory, of the team, it just sends him a bad message, doesn't it?
It's weird.
Let's be honest. He's been awful this season. He's awful in pre-season. And whether you like Gylfi, and you can check whatever, but I've not been a fan. I don't think Everton should have bought him myself. No. Because
not for the money.
I think and people didn't like Ross Barkley, and whatever people think of Ross Barkley, he's a completely different type of player than Gylfi. And we really relied on Ross to do a lot in the final third in terms of getting us up the pitch and dictating passes. And Gylfi doesn't want the ball. He stands next to defenders. Don't get me wrong, he's got a great technique, great shot on him, whatever. Can't create his own space. And the league's gone a bit quicker, it's gone a bit faster. And it's his type of player. There's still players who can do that, David Silva obviously being one of them, but he just can't. He's not good enough for it anymore. He's been an odd fit for Everton since we signed him. Now, funny enough, we did play left wing in his first season, but the previous season he scored 12 goals from left wing from Swansea. He's not a winger, let's be honest. No. I know that. He's better as a 10, but he's just so ill-disciplined, and I don't know whether last night he kept chasing the ball at the pitch, and Tom had to do the work of 6 men in midfield. It's not all his fault, but I think it's just an odd fit, and I think if Everton, another player, I think Everton be best moving on from a lot of Koeman and Walsh signings, and he'd be another one. And I think there's certain teams in the league he'd be good for. I think Burnley, I'd love with Gylfi Sigurdsson. I know maybe he can't run around as much as he used to, but he works hard. They love their balls. That's the type of team he'd suit, but he's not good enough for Everton. He shouldn't be captain. Luke Steen should be captain at the end of the day, or whoever. You don't even need just a captain, isn't it?
Like you said, it sends the wrong message out to
it's awful.
To the fans and to the other players around them as well. It's just last night like he's bottling tackles. You can't be bottling tackles in a Merseyside derby, and you're captain of the Everton team.
And you're centre mid.
And you're centre midfield.
And he never touched the ball for 20 minutes. 20 minutes he never touched the ball for an open play. He may as well sat in the stands and watched.
For me, there was times last season even, like he scored the goals, but if he hadn't scored, you would have forgot he was playing at times.
He just done a lot. When he needs to go, a lot of times when he's with the pressure suddenly on him, he scores a goal and people go, oh, there you go, Gylfi, all the haters, look at all the things he does, and you think,
He's a bit like that
there's
against
something called
West Ham when he
build-up
come on
play,
and
there's
scores.
something called control in a game, he doesn't get involved in that. Don't be wrong, he's got ability, but it's not for me.
I just think, listen, he's a good footballer, and whether a different manager would use him better or whatever, I don't know, but the captain thing just blows my mind, because when you've been dropped, how you can come back in as a captain, if you're like a natural leader, so like a John Terry type fella,
Waggy,
right, or Dave Watson to use an Everton thing, and he gets dropped, but then he's back, and he's got to be leading by example, he's snapping people, he's winning headers, he's in the trenches for you. Fair enough, but this fella
doesn't need that example.
But I don't think he needs any more pressure on him as the captain. He's just let him play his game.
How can you have someone who's missing in games as your captain? The captain has to, as you say, lead by example. Has to show the team this is the standard that was setting. He just goes missing, and people go, we took corners. That's not. You didn't touch the ball, really. You put the ball.
With all due respect, any of us could take the corner.
Can't even take corners.
We could come out of a stand and take them. No, his dead ball has been terrible for Everton.
This is, before we obviously finish, this is Everton are not obviously in transition still. Now, obviously, we all expect us to be much further along than we are now. But you need the right manager, number one, to do that. And there's still a lot of deadwood around the squad that you need to fix. You need to change there's still a lot of slow players around the team. You need to fix that. And obviously, this injury crisis, if the academy team on the 23 team had been managed properly and players had been out on loan, then maybe Dennis Adeniran could have come in and played midfield, but they're just way off the pace. And maybe they aren't good enough. Maybe that is the case. But there's a lot of things that need fixing. And, obviously a lot of things have been pointed to the board, the manager, the director of football. I think the manager's the first thing we need to change, and then we'll look obviously again down the line at what, based on what Brands does over the next season or so, I suppose. But we need to all be on the same page, I think, as a club. There needs to be one vision instead of multiple visions. People have read the articles in The Athletic, and obviously Don King and Andy Hunter are talking about different things as well now. It just seems a mess, and the club needs to really focus on one vision.
Singing off the same
singing sheet, exactly. You can see the squad's made up of different people's players, and that's another problem. There's different styles of playing. It's a lot that needs fixing.
You don't have that again, though. Now, aren't you? You change the manager.
But Brands still has full control, though, doesn't he? And that's where I know some people don't like the director football model, but it prevents us having another Koeman, crazy buying all these players that don't fit together. Now, obviously, if it's Moyes, or if it's whoever else, Brands is going to say, do you like this player? If he says no, he's not going to sign him, which is fine. That's how it works. But they're not going to go, I want so and so. He's going to go, well, it doesn't fit what I want. So the answer's no, and that's where the balance has to come. But yeah, I think this season we'll have to write it off. I think we can still, there's an outside chance we can make 7-6 maybe, with a run. But we need to write it and start building for next season. Try and right the wrongs off the pitch, because off the pitch, you need sorting as well as on the pitch.
I was going to say, a quick one, just in relation to the manager. I actually don't blame the manager no more. It's gone past the manager.
Do you blame Bob Mashiri?
I blame whoever's in
the board.
The board, whoever
they're all
needs to make these
culpable because
decisions.
they're all involved in making the decisions, and I've been saying it's inevitable for months because it just was. You could just see it coming. And these two games especially,
they've hung them out to dry, basically.
Right, yeah,
it's not, and it feels like that over the last couple of years with a couple of things now, like the whole, when we've released players and not told them all, it just seems like we've lost, like we always used to say.
I think we will anyway, just because of the way the club's going. But just finally, to finish, Ronald Koeman was sacked the day after he lost 5-2.
Yeah.
So there you go. We'll have to see whether Everton move again with that. Big thanks to Andy, big thanks to Steve. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Give the video a thumbs up. Get over and join us on Patreon. See you later.